Hi everybody, I'm Paula Harvey, and I'd like to show you an easy way to learn through nature journaling. This is very scientific, and not only is it easy, it is really fun. Are you a curious person? You like to ask lots of questions? Would you like to be an expert on things that are interesting to you? If so, follow along. Well, the first thing you need is a piece of paper and a pencil, and that is it. But if you have a journal, that's even better, because when you keep on journaling, over time you can go back and see how much you've explored and how much you've learned. Each time you journal, you need to head your journal entry with metadata. That's all the things that are important to know before you even start to journal. Metadata includes the date, the day, the time, the season, your location, the weather, which includes the temperature, the percent of cloud covering in the sky, and the wind speed. Now, those last three things can be estimates. You don't need any tools for this. It's also a really good idea to mention who you're with while you're journaling. Is it your whole class? Is it a friend? Or are you alone? This helps you to remember better. Now that you've completed that heading, it's time to start. Now, the very first thing that you do in journaling is don't do anything. That's it. Just sit quietly and observe. Journaling is all about becoming a good observer. The more you look, the more you're going to see. So take your time here. Spend 5 to 10 minutes just sitting quietly, nothing in your hands, just looking and listening. Look at the shape and the size of your subject. Look at its surroundings. Get to know what it would be like to be that plant or that animal in this place. Once you've really observed your subject, start writing down the information that you've been gathering. You'll record that information in 3 different ways. First, by writing a description, then measuring your subject, and by making a sketch or a diagram of it. Now, those 3 things are equally important. You'll probably enjoy doing one of those 3 things more than the other, but all 3 things are the tools that you need to really study and get to know what you're learning about. Also, there's no rule about how you record this information. You could use a separate page for each type of observation. You might want to do one of these steps first and then the next and then the next, but you also might want to combine them and do all 3 things at one time. There's no right way and there's no wrong way. There is only your way. So now let's just look at the writing step. You'll want to include a description of your subject, ask questions about the subject, and come up with some possible answers to those questions. That's what scientists do. They develop hypotheses to answer their question. The third important thing is to link what you're learning to what you already know. That helps you remember what you've learned better. So in your journal, you want to write, I notice, and then write the things that you're observing, the description. Then you want to write, I wonder, and ask a whole bunch of questions. Write the word maybe and put down some possible answers to those questions, those hypotheses. As you're discovering new things about your subject, write, this reminds me of, and explain things that come to mind. It could be another thing that you're comparing your subject to, or it could be a time when something happened that you're reminded of. Measuring your subject's very important, and it's very scientific. Here again, you want to use estimates a lot. If you're measuring a tree, for example, you can't use a ruler, it's too tall, but you can estimate the height of that tree compared to a person. or other things around it. There are lots of ways to measure. Think about the sound of a bird song. Notice that the bird repeats that song many times. How many seconds goes by before it repeats its song? That's a measurement. How many minutes does it take for a snail to move the length of your ruler? That's a measurement. The third thing that you need to do to round out your study is to sketch your subject. Now, some people make an art project out of this, and that's fine. They use paints and markers and spend a lot of time on this, but that's not necessary. It's amazing, though, what you learn about something by trying to draw it. A bird that has black and white stripes on its neck, for example, how many stripes does it have? What order are they in? Drawing that is the best way to record that information. Sometimes you want to break down something into a diagram. That's great. Label the parts of that diagram to give you even more information. And that's it. Write, measure, and draw. Take your time and really get to know that special plant or animal. You will be amazed how much you'll know when you're done. Have fun.